All right. Good morning, gang. Dan here with tradingology.com for another week of the trading room. And as usual, we have Dave joining us from the Strong Market team. Good morning, Dave. Good to see you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Dan.
I see you've got a couple new interesting tidbits coming, and should be an interesting day. A little couple of cool topics I think we have on the docket here.
Yeah.
Good morning, Eli. Good to see you.
Good morning, Eli. Yeah, very interesting day. We had a lot of volatility around the 10 a.m. period between 9 and 10.
I was just noticing, I'll pull up one of my topics here as I was getting ready for my calendar, and I didn't see this coming last week, but looks like there's some activity with Powell and some digital currency discussions.
He had a discussion with the head of the IMF.
Due to participate in a panel discussion around cross-border payments and digital currencies with the IMF. Audience questions expected. I haven't found if there's a feed going on right now because this said it started at 7 a.m. my time, 8 Eastern. So I'd be curious to see how that affects things throughout the day and just that. And then we had all day, we have the OPEC JMMC meetings.
Yeah, that could move the market pretty good. I heard Powell speak a little bit. He was live on YouTube, and I heard a little bit of what he was talking about. And he said that, I guess the IMF raised the question of whether or not the dollar should be the world reserve currency anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah. And he said, we're still a reserve currency.
I'm assuming he didn't pause.
And he also he dismissed the idea. One of the questions was on the central bank digital currencies, and he dismissed it, saying that we're not ready. We're not going to probably implement it for a few years because the payments in the United States are pretty fast.
Really?
Yeah.
His checks went out really fast. Not his checks, but.
Yeah, and if you've ever tried to make a transfer from Coinbase to your traditional stockbroker, you have to go through your bank account, back up again. It's not that fast. Come on.
Right. Yeah, when you're talking days isn't fast.
No.
Unless we're
He's talking about purchasing goods and services. Yeah, those can be fast. But
right.
That's about it.
Which makes me curious if that's related to any of our weekend movements in the digital markets. As I know you talked about briefly that we can discuss on the little updates you've got coming, but we see, Bitcoin's up, Ethereum's up, XRP's up, everything's pretty much up right now. VETS was up big yesterday, so it's kind of hovering right now. Some nice moves in the crypto world over
the XLM is the biggest mover, kind of a surprise move over the weekend. I think it was Friday night or maybe early Sunday. I mean, it was up 5 or 6%. It bounced off a 72 level, and it hit just a little while ago. It hit 87, so 0.87 cents. Big move in XLM. I'm not sure what that's about. Now, we're getting some more kind of volatility this morning. So between 9 and 10 a.m. this morning, the CME and the Federal Reserve did a reswapping transition, they call it. They called it a swap hedging transition on the entire yield curve, 2, 5, 10s, 20s, and 30s.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea what that's about, but I saw an announcement about it Friday, and they said they were going to do it this morning. It was an auction date to rehedge between 9 and 10 a.m. this morning. So I think that's what caused the volatility.
Yeah, looking at the VXX, it's up on the day. We're about 22.5 right now, give or take a few cents. And it's a green bar for the day so far. So it's in the middle of this Darvis box, just watching the VXX chart, and Friday was up, Monday's continuing up. So volatility is on the rise, as Dave spoke of there. And we see we opened up 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 almost here. Took a big move down. So yeah, higher volatility. We get these bigger bars that you guys know we don't typically see. That's definitely an indication of volatility as well, where big moves in the number of issues, whether they're going up or down. Sporadic trades, sporadic moves here.
Yeah, yeah. So volatility. I mean, look at what happened Friday at the close. I mean, we were up 240 or so on the YM, and it dropped sharply. I don't know if you can pull that over, but I mean, the last hour of trading, it dropped like 100 or 200 points. Very, very sharp drop.
Yeah, up all day, big move up.
Yeah.
Boom.
Straight down.
We'll
I bought puts. I bought puts almost right at that second little high there. That was a really nice trade. I just had a feeling. I don't know. The spidey senses came out.
I think you had sent that in a message to me. It's like, yeah, that's the 40 years of spidey senses. You have to trust those.
Yeah, I guess so. NQ is getting kind of ripped here. Interestingly enough, I did a very, very long-term trade, kind of like what we were talking about on the UUP, and these expire out to 2023. And for some reason, the UUP is down, and so is the DXY, but those are up in their call options, way out of the money. Not sure what's going on with that.
Wow, I gotta adjust my charts here. Like you say, NASDAQ's getting crushed. Everybody's getting crushed. They must be saying something right now in that meeting.
Let me check CNBC, see if they have a headline here.
Andre's got his finger on the pulse. What's going on, Andre?
Morgan Stanley says 10% correction is needed before a bull market can resume.
Mnuchin and Pelosi to talk fiscal stimulus after Monday afternoon. Yeah, that's old news. I don't know why that's a headline.
Jim Cramer says stimulus and stocks, we're in a wacko market.
You didn't think you'd ever hear Jim Cramer say that word.
Yeah, I know.
We love talking heads.
A wacko market. Is that a technical indicator? kind of check that out. JP Morgan says market expectations are set for a Biden win.
They're set for a what?
A Biden win.
Oh, geez.
I saw there was a little clip this morning about Biden's tax plan. Basically, he's going to raise it from, I think it's, what is it, 39 something now to 48. If you live in California and New York, that combined rate for the state and Fed is going to be close to 70%.
Ouch.
I'm moving out of New York. Hasta la vista, New York. I'm getting out.
Yeah, California and New York is going to be a mass exodus. Here's a look at the indexes. Interestingly enough, we're still positive on the SD, but we're opened higher, so it is trailing down. NDX big move down. So yeah, these are reversed. So like we typically see, if you guys have heard us, these are bullish setups. Excuse me, bearish setups when we have stars inverted like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're pulling pretty far away from them. I actually took a long position when the ES was down around that right about where it is right now, and I just rode it for a couple of bars up, about 10 points, which is a nice little trade, but I got out quick. I just took my profits and ran.
I had a quick one as well. You must have been watching me. Between 34.75 and 34.80, I took a quick trade in there myself.
Yeah, I went 71 to 81, and that was good enough for me. I'll take it.
Yep. So there's another chance of that right now, but it's not the same setup at the moment.
No. No, and the SDs opened up pretty strong. They were up +9 on the New York and the Nasdaq, which is pretty strong buying indication. We have not gone negative, and the advanced declines are starting to go positive again. Kind of climbing there. So I may end up doing something, but not quite yet. One more trade before I close out my program for the day. Did you have a nice weekend?
We did. We went out and celebrated a friend's housewarming. So I made it out to South Dakota this weekend.
Oh, nice.
So we're happy to celebrate them buying their new house. Good times.
Yeah, fantastic.
We saw snowflakes fall as I was warning you, and it's 32 degrees right now. So prepare for this.
I don't know. It's according to the weather, we're supposed to get up into the 70s by Thursday.
Well, apparently it's going south after it leaves here, so you're in the safe zone.
Yeah, I think the jet stream has changed. You go south, and then we grab the southern weather.
Very possible.
I didn't see anything else over the weekend. I think the stimulus thing is. You think they're going to get something done today? Because I think Pelosi said, "Hey, Tuesday midnight, you're done."
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anything's happened before the elections.
Yeah,
I think it's a non-starter at this point. That's my personal opinion, at least.
I'm a little worried overall. I don't know if you saw the video I did on the 1929 to 2020 comparison there.
I did. I was going to mention that for the folks that haven't seen that yet, as Dave's doing some market reviews, and he put out one. Was it Saturday, Sunday? Which day was released?
Yep, it was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Yep. Okay, I did see it after I got home then. So yeah, I absolutely enjoyed that. And then I saw the other short one. I haven't caught the whole thing of it yet that you released this morning, since I was busy getting ready for here. So Dave is doing more reviews in addition to our trading room and other things. So make sure you catch that through his Cryptopolis channel.
Yep, I put him in the RTUS too, in case you missed.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought I'd do some more kind of day-to-day stuff. Just kind of stay in touch with everybody. And I did trade one of the trades this morning that I put in that video was CRSR, and I ended up catching it, and I made some money on it, but it's really thinly traded also. It's like I put in an offer for 100 shares at about 1993, and I only got filled on 24 of them. So it's really thinly traded, I guess. I rode it up to about 21 and then got out. So I think I made, what is that? It's like $4. I wanted the whole 100, but I only got 24. This is Corsair Gaming. I mean, the setup is really nice. I've been looking at it for about a week and a half, and it's been bouncing off of $18.50, $18, and then it looked like it was, it was going to make a move higher, but I didn't. I didn't buy it on Friday. Kind of kicked myself, but who knows over the weekend. So.
Yeah, it was a nice little gap up there from the weekend.
Yeah, gapped up to right around 2033 at the open, and then it started pulling back. But I got it just after the open. It kind of pulled back down to around that 20 level, and then it shot right up to 21, and I got out. I think gaming stocks are going to do fairly well. Like PENN, PENN. BETS, BETC, we've looked at before.
Mm-hmm.
The CR, I wouldn't hold them long term, I don't think, but they might be good trades. I'm not going to trade CRSR again, though. It's too thin.
Well, that's how you found that out.
Yeah.
You find the liquidity is not there.
No.
See, as we mentioned, it wasn't the same setup. We didn't get the same balance this time. Second time around is a different move.
Yeah.
We're going lower. All right, let's see. We didn't cover just a quick glance from the week's closeout. And as we see happening now, we had clues of this starting with our thinning bullish hurting. We've had 3 days of the swing signal being down. Yeah, we did have one day. It was up 100 points on Friday, but it was up much more as we saw. So that was actually, that's kind of misleading when you look at it that way. AVS is back over 1500. So we saw this volatility coming as MT vols back up in the 90s again. We went down to 81. So now we're kind of hovering 91, 92. So that's risen. So the market timer spreadsheet has been warning us. The warning signs are there that increased volatility is coming. And we see that playing out even after the being up overnight coming into the morning. It's trading back those gains that it made overnight.
Well, the one thing about the spreadsheet too was you can see the bullish hurting was thinning out. And the high AVS on Friday was because option expiration.
That's right. You did tell me. I keep forgetting that it was options expiration day because I didn't have anything expiring, so it wasn't on my radar.
Right. But the bullish hurting was thinning out. That's a pretty clear sign, and you get that third column of the pipeline there jumping up from 88 to 105%. That's an early indication that volatility is going to start going up. The spreadsheet doesn't lie; it's all numbers. You can't fudge it. The only thing that's subjective on that are the notes. We just kind of make some observations, but everything else is just pure numbers. And so if you look at that spreadsheet and you say, well, it's kind of odd, right? That, on a couple of days, the 15th and the 16th, the market really didn't do much. It was up and down a little bit, but all of a sudden the pipeline jumped to 105%. What is that? Well, that would give you a heads up that volatility is increasing. That's what the pipeline does. It tells you what volatility is doing.
And it's all about, as we've mentioned many times, but just to reiterate it, it's probability. So it's taking in the probability is higher for down moves and bearish activity when these events happen.
Right. I mean, we don't make any of these numbers up. These are all numbers taken from the internal. So if you go all the way over to the left there on the spreadsheet, you just input, you got 4 inputs. You got the NYSE, the advancing issues, declining issues, up volume, and down volume. And then we use a neural network on several different layers to create all of the numbers in there just from those 4 inputs. And so we do various layers on a neural net to really dissect the supply and demand in the market. It's unique in trading. There isn't anything else like it. You will not see anything else like it. The visual bullish and bearish hurting, which I call a balance of power, it's either on the bullish side or the bearish side, is it just a visual representation of supply and demand. And when there's more bullish, there's more hurting on the bullish side, then it's the market's going to go up. If it's more on the bearish side, then the market's going to go down. And the ones in there are just a representation, kind of a placeholder. That's all.
It could be X's if they wanted to be. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be X's, O's, whatever. It's just a placeholder. But I kind of put the 1 in there because I wanted to recognize them as like people in the market, as a representation of a group of people in the market who are pushing their money in. And this is real. So this is money. It's not what people say. It's not, I think the market's going to go up. I think the market's going to go down. That's just jaw boning. But those indications are actual money in the market and where they're putting the money. Are they putting it on, are they selling short, selling it, or are they buying stocks? And that's what they represent.
Well, you mentioned selling short there too. That reminded me of, I think you had talked about it somewhere. And this is probably the record time between who's buying calls and puts out there and that ratio right now, where
Yes.
no one thinks they need protection right now. There's no downside protection across the market in the majority of accounts right now. which is a big setup for trouble, if you ask me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Very few people are anticipating the volatility is going to go higher. They think that the market is going to continue to do well and volatility will decline. But usually when everybody's on that side of the trade, it goes the other way.
Is there an easy place I can pull that up to show that, or do you know off the top of your head?
If you
Call put ratio or something I can check?
you can go, yeah, you can go on Google and just look for the call put ratio. I do have a chart. The CBOE has it. Let me see if
See, they got market stats. I don't know if that's going to show me anything visually or not.
the recent one expired in October of 2019. I mean, how can you have that?
0.85 total put call ratio.
Now, did they have a chart there? Because it was much, much lower than that.
Not that I see yet.
Yeah, it's a 0.8. It was much lower than that. So there was like almost 4, I think, to 1. So it was like down to point like 2.7 or 2.5 or something. Let me see if I can get a chart real quick because I know I have one.
So that's why I usually try to have things open for you guys ahead of time to eliminate your dead air for you. As we quickly try and find, there's a SPX put call ratio. That doesn't look like what I'm looking for though.
No.
Yeah, I think that was also part of the real-time update, which is probably where I read it. So if you guys aren't tracking that, make sure you do for Strong Markets real-time update service. Because I know Dave and the team, he does put stuff in there for that. I think that's where I probably read it. The more I think about it, because you were talking about it in there, or you were quoting someone that was talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, if you just scroll through that RTUS, we'll probably end up seeing it. But
here's one of the charts you had. Let me pull this over.
Oh, here it is. Here. It's at 11:03 on Friday, October 9th.
Well, that's the VIX futures. Sorry. Is that the one? That's not the one.
Yeah, Friday, October 9th. It's the lowest ever.
Let's see.
Yeah, just scroll up to Friday, October 9th at 11:03. I had retweeted a Sven Henrik.
That's it.
Chart that he had put up there. And yeah, lowest ever. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Unbelievable. It was down to 0.4. Yeah, 0.4.
Yeah, even below.
Yeah, it was below 0.4. Just a crazy, crazy number, which means that everybody's on the, especially retail traders, are on the long side of this market. Just like it was in 1929, the final straw of the 1929 market was the fact that grandmothers and, widows and whoever else was in the market that shouldn't be in the market.
Yeah, all the Robinhood traders. You mean them?
Yeah, all the Robinhood traders. Yes.
That's the first thing I thought of when you were mentioning that yesterday. It's like, yeah, and all the people that have never traded that suddenly had free currency and they had to put it into the accounts. That's the first thing that ran across my head when you were talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're all taking they're buying a lottery ticket thinking the market's going to go a lot higher. So we'll see. But that's always a danger sign as far as I'm concerned.
So that's a few of the recent current events happening. Let's see, crypto. Just looking at the outlook for the week, we saw the calendar there was less populated once again. They must be getting ready for holiday vacations. Just for one quick more glimpse for you guys, there's nothing for Tuesday and Wednesday. for events. Not until the unemployment claims and then a couple manufacturing items at the close out the week, but interesting how that's kind of happening.
There are earnings though. Tonight after the close is IBM. That's probably the biggest one today. So,
Yeah, and obviously they don't put earnings on this calendar, so that's just major markets. But yes, we are in earnings reporting season for different publicly traded companies. So yes, absolutely.
yeah, this is a big week. There's a couple of big companies reporting this week. IBM is the first one after the close today, so that could definitely affect the overnight markets.
Big separation in issues and volume here.
Mm-hmm.
Those are always they stick out like a sore thumb when I look at that chart. That's always a warning sign too.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's our Market Timer XL indicator, available at tradingology.com.
The original one, yes. We have the rights to get that to you guys. Same thing goes with the spreadsheet. You get this along with the spreadsheet. I know you guys that are in here live have it, but anybody that's catching the recording, if they're looking for it, let us know and we can get you a subscription. It's only $5 a month for the updates. And with that, we're getting close to the top of the hour. I'll bring it up tomorrow since I forgot my list first thing this morning, since it's Monday, and that's what happens on Mondays, is I do got a couple questions from emails that we'll cover on tomorrow's call. And as you guys always know, send them over and we'll include them. So I will be including a few trader reader questions tomorrow. We'll cover those.
And it looks like Apple's pre-orders for the 5G phone, the 12, has surpassed the 11 phone on the first day. So the pre-orders are going very well for Apple.
Interesting.
People have no money, but they're buying iPhones.
Yeah, when I heard something on the radio this weekend when we were driving, it was, these things are $1,000, and oh yeah, it was, they don't give you chargers. The charger's different. And there's no more this and there's no more that, and it's a $1,000 piece of equipment, and you can't use the same chargers as the last one.
They changed it again. Why? I mean, I can understand an upgrade or two, but gee, I mean,
how much money is there in charging cords that you have to change it for every phone?
I bet that's a big margin item.
Something
costs them $1 to make, and they charge $50 for it.
Right. That was the one. I did hear that gripe from I don't have an iPhone personally, but that was one thing I heard from my iPhone friends. Can't use the same charger, and they're mad about that again.
Yeah, that would be kind of discouraging. I'm not sure I would upgrade with that kind of.
Well, then you just look at your drawers. How many different cords do you have for charging things these days? Where's the right one? That's the wrong end. That's the wrong end.
You know what
I don't have that phone anymore, but I still got the cord.
This is not my usual, but this is what I do. I put a piece of tape around the cord and mark it.
Oops. You gotta label it.
I label it. There we go. So I always know which one that cord goes to, because you look at the cord, it's like, where does that thing go?
Right. Too funny. All right, guys. With that, we'll probably wrap her up. Good seeing you guys this week, or to start the week out, I should say.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week. Stick with us and come back. Looks like we've got a few. It looks like a new member there. I'm not sure. Ms. Yell?
I believe he is a newer member.
Good. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.
See you, Dave.
Bye,
see you guys.